Okay, my ballers, as you can see, I'm outside Orlando Stadium, with the happy people as they finish the season with 2 cups as well as a second place qualification into the CAF Champions League. But I'm not alone. I'm here with the man that represents Talking Buccaneers. Fuman, how are you?
I'm good, Tiffy. How's it going?
Easy, my man. Easy, my man.
Thanks for having me.
Quick disclaimer to the ballers. Don't look at me here smiling in front of the badge of the Buccaneers, thinking I'm an up the buck supporter. I don't support the Pirates. I'm a Chiefs supporter. Don't ever get that twisted. So, with that being said, quick one. Nedbank CAF final. How did you feel about it?
Where do I even begin? Very important one. I thought it was going to define for us whether this would be a successful season or not. I think in my head I thought MTN 8 final win, second spot, and just that's not a very good season. But because we won the Nedbank Cup, we've got some bragging rights, we've got 2 trophies, we've won everything that was available to win and gotten into Africa.
Sure.
So I think that's a great season. I'm very happy. I think especially even the way that we played, but I'm sure we're going to get into
we'll definitely dive into that in holding on. There's many times this season people have actually felt that Pirates win games but don't perform that well throughout the match.
100%.
Did you feel the same this Saturday?
100%. And I think that's just the kind of team that we've become lately. We've become just this machine that wins and gets results.
Sure.
And that's important. If you watch football, you know that's important. That's how you win trophies.
100%.
Especially in cup games, you don't have to perform. You just have to get the result. So I've watched a lot of finals in my life where I've watched a better team, play football, play some nice things. But then you've got coaches that plan for that and they go, okay, let them have the ball and then get one chance, get the goal, and then win the cup. Sit back and 30 years from now, 20 years from now, 10 years from now, history has it that who won the game? Pirates won the game. No one's going to think that Pirates played poorly or whatever. It's about the medal.
Yeah, true. It is about that. So, with us speaking on the season review, as we've already highlighted your achievements. New appointment this season with Jose Riviero, aka the Plumber. He came in with not so well-known CV. We just knew that he was Spanish and thought, okay, he's going to bring some exciting football to Orlando Pirates. Not necessarily exciting, he's more of the defensive approach, but Spanish. How did you feel about his appointment, or more so like his first few games?
You know what, I was even thinking about this today. I owe Jose Rivero an apology because I was certainly in the camp of not believing in him, and I didn't go so far as calling him a plumber, but I was certainly in that camp of skeptical. I think it's because we've tried the foreign coach thing since Rukrol. We've been trying. There's a lot of talk on other channels and other people that analyze football about, hey, why not try these local coaches? And local coaches are doing well at Sundowns. So you start to be skeptical about these foreign coaches that come to Pirates and try, and we've tried that thing.
Many to name. Vesovic has come, gone,
Zimbauer. Michu was the one I think was a bit promising, but then he left. So he didn't really win stuff. We just got to second spot also that season, I remember. So I wasn't confident. I doubted him. First few games, style of play, the players that were playing, the signings that we'd made. I honestly wasn't on the happy side of Jose Rivero joining Orlando Pirates.
Speaking on the signings, actually. Evan Gar started the season as the main number 9 with Gabadinho Mango leaving to join Amazulu. His welfare time with the fans ended quite abruptly. He lost his place in the team probably from the World Cup on. But the other signings that did well, Kusnat Sibisi probably had an amazing season, was even nominated for Defender of the Season at the PSL Awards. Ndlondlo and Tim in the midfield, but we can't forget the man who came back on loan from Swallows, Munapule Saleng. What do you think about the signings overall if you look at them collectively for Pirates this season?
How long do we have? I am somewhere in the middle. So I think we've made some brilliant signings, like you've already named Nkosinathi Sibisi, Tapelo Koki, Tim, Jonjo have changed that midfield. Who's this? Makhehleni Makaula as well.
Oh, yes.
Fantastic
January
when he's
signing.
played. January signing. But then the other signings that I'm really not happy about.
Sure.
I keep talking about this. The likes of Craig Martin. I didn't understand that signing. We released Wade Houston,
who was promising last season, in all honesty, with going forward.
Yes, and we released who's the guy who's doing well at Supersport now, especially Njo, who used to fill in at right back.
True.
So we released a couple of right backs and makeshift right backs.
Yes.
To go and sign with Craig Martin, who's a similar player, and this is nothing against Wade Craig Martin. It's just I didn't understand that signing. He hasn't played. He made a couple of substitute appearances, maybe 2 minutes, 10 minutes. Didn't impress at all, to be frank. So those kind of signings. The other thing that I really struggle with is that my team signs 30-year-olds only. Except Labaiteto Ndlovu. So I was really happy about the Ndlovu signing because we signed someone who's going to be a mainstay in that midfield
for some time.
And Sakoma Kubela was another one I was happy with because it seemed like we're signing hot property in the league who's going to be there for some time. But a lot of the other signings, it's always this player got released by his team or his team is struggling or whatever, looking for money. They've got to release that 30-year-old player, and then Pirates goes and signs him.
Sure.
And I beg your pardon. It just seemed like there was no ambition at all. That was my struggle. Even with Tim, I know Tim has done well, but I thought, if he does well for what, 2 seasons max.
Sure.
And then after that, we've got to start the rebuilding process again.
He's brought in that factor that I feel Pirates, like in terms of a hard midfielder, you last had with probably Ismail Assar's first season.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Issa Sarr.
Yes. I think Tim has been revolutionary in midfield.
Phenomenal.
He's been phenomenal. I think he's what I expected Goodman Musela to be.
Sure.
So for me, I've got a bias for age. I just think I've just got a bias for young age because of the continuity of the club. So I like young players doing well because I want them to do well for years, and then we can keep fixing little things. Because Tim doing well now, my only concern is that how long can he do it for us?
Sure.
And we've got to look for someone to fill in those boots at some point.
Yes.
So, but otherwise, flowers for him. I think he's been fantastic. A lot of people were doubting him. I listen to a lot of people talk about football, South African football. So I've heard people talk about he passes sideways and things like that. And I don't think so. I think he makes a lot of forward passes. He makes brilliant passes.
Sure.
Line-breaking passes. He dictates play. He breaks up play. He's just a complete midfield, and I think he's been amazing for us.
And it was said he was a crucial miss in the first Soweto derby game where Yusuf Maat scored from midfield.
Come on.
As he was suspended for that. But away from that one,
the
one signing who we didn't speak about intentionally because he returned to the club. Kermit Erasmus had a pivotal contribution in the semi-final second leg against Sundowns in MTN 8. How did you feel about his return?
Not only that, even Kaizer Chiefs recently scored the goal that
opening goal.
Very happy about that. So I know I complain about Pirates signing 30-year-olds, but I'm going to waver a little bit. I think there are unique signings.
Sure. Definitely.
I think there are signings that change. I don't know.
The locker room in a way.
Yes, in a way. I think Erasmus is a leader at Pirates. You certainly see it. I mean, I'm never in the dressing room, but I do catch a few clips and things like that. You see that he's someone they look up to.
Yes.
I've listened to Munapule Saleng speak about, even Lempile Ratoma speak about just how Erasmus has taken him under his wing and tries to guide him, with the professionalism and things like that. So, I think he's quality. I think he changed his game. He's more of a number 10 now, no longer that out-and-out goal scorer. I think he's got, 2 goals or something since returning to Pirates. But he's just been very influential on the pitch in the link-up play and things like that. But more so, he just sets a culture in Pirates.
Yes.
He knows Pirates from way back when. And I think just coming back, that kind of influence, that winning mentality is good. Even for, maybe this is a bit premature to talk about, but we've got players out on loan like Tumelo Ranyopane, who's a fantastic young striker. I think would have been great to play alongside Erasmus, who's been there, done that.
In a way, I think he also pushed out the loaning of Mufasa to Supersport United.
Yes.
Who actually caught on form at Supersport United. But with that being said, okay, before the World Cup, results were hard to find. You'd get them there and there. If we look at Pirates in the leagues, you don't have many draws. You know, there's a lot of wins, of course, that's led you to second place, and losses. A few of those losses, if they turn to draws or even wins, Sundown celebration may be delayed a bit longer. But in saying that, where were the goals before the World Cup?
Oh, jeez, dude. You can ask that again. A part of it is because we were playing with Kwame Pepra. Again, no offense. I think just our striking force was not good enough. I think the release of Gabadino Mango, I do understand it because I've heard stuff about behavioral problems.
Many rumors.
Yes,
we'd actually like to hear what actually happened. Because there's a lot of behavioral rumors around Gabadino.
And some of the other players that were released. But I mean, I don't know for sure because I'm never in that dressing room. But releasing Gabadino Mango, Tsegofatso Mabasa was another one who was scoring a lot last season. Second half, coming on in the second half, getting crucial goals. He got loaned out to Skukune. And then
Lindam Toba also left to Skukune.
He also went to. So the goals went, you know, and it means that, okay, now who's going to score for us? You've got Evanga, who for me is a bit of an old-fashioned target man. Which I struggle with at Pirates because I just don't think we play that kind of game at Pirates. But mostly Kwame Pepra was the man who was trusted to score the goals, and I just think he's not the guy. I think that's why we're struggling. Maybe even the team was trying to adjust to the way that Jose Rivero was playing, because I've listened to some players recently after the Nedbank Cup win, heard Paseka Marco speak, Temikosi Lodge talking about even the coach himself was struggling to adapt to the players, you know, adapting to the South African style, South African players. He's used to a kind of player, maybe the Spanish player, maybe even the Finnish player being, you know, coming from
already,
and then coming to South Africa, having to adjust to the kind of style that we play. I think maybe it was a lot of factors. I think there was many factors. I know you want us maybe to talk about the striker coach.
You know. Because after the World Cup, it started raining goals out here at Orlando Stadium, you know, 3s and 4s, low on the score sheet, golden arrows were had. Coach Scott Chickledy came in, and you know, the goals started raining at Orlando Stadium, and you know, Pirates fans were happy.
And since he's left, if you think about it, we haven't been scoring any goals.
Not to complain about, but you know, we definitely understand. What was his impact on the team?
I do think he's had an impact on the team. Can't say for sure, but it just does seem like something changed since his appointment and his departure. Something has changed again. But also, I think one of the biggest factor in Pirates scoring goals, I don't know if this is premature again for me, but I think Munapule Saleh, his form, his assists. If you look at all the goals that have been scored, he's had a lot of goal contributions.
Which we're still going to step into. 100%.
So I think many factors, and certainly one of them, the striker coach, was a fantastic appointment. I love that sort of thing. I think those marginal things that you change as a club, you know, to gain an advantage that people like me don't know about. Because I just wonder, if I don't know about the appointment of that coach, I'm thinking, hey, what happened? And it's just those little things that happen internally, and I think it's a wonderful thing at a club like Pirates.
And with the turn of the year, you know, obviously you started off, I think it was New Year's Eve, New Year's Eve, you know, 2-0 defeat to Sundowns.
Yes.
With it raining at Loftus Versfeld, but after that, goals started coming in. But with that being said, the turn of the year, we started seeing tactical changes, you know. Pirates diverting to a back three, Hoto being a wing back, when Vincent Pule came back from injury, he'd operate as a wing back.
As well.
Marco operated on both flanks, who I think was key in showing his versatility.
Yeah.
You know, Monyane had a contribution from the right, gaining starts under his belt. What do you think helped Pirates the most with the tactical change Coach Jose made, and maybe was it something that led to him adapting and through time getting to know his players better?
Yeah, so you know what, it's funny because I actually think quite the opposite. I think him moving away from the three is what helped. So beginning of the season, he used to play a lot of the three because we'd have Nda as the right centre back.
Sure.
And I remember we used to play Okios BC or Mayela would play that left centre back position.
As the new captain.
As the new captain, you'd play that left centre back, and then Da as the right centre back, and then you'd have Monyane as a flying wing back.
Wing back on the right.
And then you'd have people like Otto. Because Otto is those traditional wingers that play on the left with the left foot. So it's more suited to be a wing back if you think about modern football and inverted wingers and things like that. So I think it was a case of him trying to accommodate the players that we have, which I'd argue is smart. That's what every coach does. You look at what you have at your disposal and you try and integrate. Yes. So I think it was that. My struggle was we just didn't have the numbers up front because we'd play that system, that three and then wing backs, and then we'd play with three central midfielders and then two men up front. And sometimes before the introduction of Saleh, you'd play with someone like again Kwame Pepra and Lepasa, or you'd play maybe with Lodge when he was there. So you've only got two out-and-out attackers, and everyone is more suited to the build-up phase of things and the defensive role. And so I think that's part of the reason why we weren't scoring the goals. And then as time went, certainly adaptation. I think with the Saleng just revolutionizing Pirates, Lodge returning from injury. And then
change as well with Terence Chukamanja moved up front.
Moving up front. Kemid Erasmus, the signing of Kemid Erasmus.
100%.
I think he then realized that he's got to adapt again. This is why I think, because a lot of Pirates fans are worried about why Monyane is not playing and things like that. And I'm also worried as well. But yeah, Monyane is more of like a wing back. So since moving to the back four, this is why we've seen Marco play, because he's more on the right, because he's more of a defensive fullback, and then Mayela playing on the left as well, because I think the coach just wanted to solidify. He's a very
defensive approach.
He's got a very defensive approach.
Spanish coach with a defensive approach.
It's strange, but
that Unai Emery feel.
100%. Jose Mourinho.
They have it in there. You find some of those Portuguese coaches with it.
With that sort of thing. So I think it was just a case of him adapting, and ever since moving to the four, I remember it was a game against Maritzburg when I first saw it. He was playing Otto at left back, and he played Mayela. I think one of Oki and Spisi, two of Oki and Spisi and Nda were out in that game. I think Oki was playing alongside Mayela as the two centre backs, and we were playing Bandile Shandu on the right. And I just think that ever since moving to that system, he might have seen something, because we played, Lodge was playing on the left, Dlamini I think was playing...
Away game at Harry College Stadium.
Yes, and Dlamini was playing as a 10, and Saleng obviously... Off the right. And ever since moving to that, I think he's seen something, and we've just been able to grind out results and win stuff. So, came at the right timing. Signings coming, injuries coming back, key injuries like Lodge, Pule, and those guys. Even Marco at some point was away. Him coming back, I think, has allowed him to forge his lineup and go back to the front.
All right, the cup runs. Obviously, MTN 8 at the beginning of the season. So stuff was already wrapped up in, September, October. With you guys knocking out Sundowns in the semi-finals, Amazulu in the final at Mozambique Stadium. Then we turned to the Nedbank Cup. It was said you guys had an easy run at the beginning, easy fixtures. In the All-Star, you got the wins. Some of them you struggled over the line. I think it was the last 16 where you needed extra time at Vet Stadium.
Yes, I was All-Stars,
All-Stars to get over the line. How do you feel Coach Jose's teams work with cups more so in being a defensive coach, does it benefit you guys in cups? And how do you think it may benefit you next season in the CAF Champions League?
Oh, jeez. You know what? That's such a good question. I didn't even think about that, because the instinctive thing is to go, we want to attack.
Sure.
But you are so right. Playing in Africa, very experienced teams, sometimes you're going to need that
heavy physicality
physicality and things like that, I beg your pardon. So, yeah, the approach that we've had might be suited to play in Africa, actually.
Yeah.
I think an expensive game in Africa is a huge risk.
Sure.
We've seen with Sundowns.
It's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate. Like I
people want the away goal scrapped in Africa.
I admire Sundowns. I think they play beautiful stuff. I think Coach Rulani, Orlando Pirates coach, is an amazing coach, and Sundowns are playing brilliant stuff. But to go away in Africa and play that expensive is a huge risk. And so I think it might come in our aid, the fact that we know how to sit back and get that goal or those 2 goals. It helps that we've got someone like Mundapule Saleng, who's able to play as the single outlet at times. I just remember games where I felt like we're just hoofing stuff out to him on the wing, and just requiring of him and Lebasa to just forge something up front. So in that Sundowns game where we won 3-0, was it 3-0 in the MTN 8? It was
second leg
semi-final. It was a case of just like soak Sundowns and then get the ball. Lepasa and Saleng just start running. Erasmus as well.
And what helped you soak is the early goal. With defensive teams, if they score first, it even helps them even more with defending, which you guys got the early goal through Erasmus.
Yeah.
Something I wanted to highlight on with you mentioning Sundowns. Was Pirates the cause of the managerial substitution at Sundowns?
I'd love to think so. I definitely think so. It's fun to know we had something to do with that. Sundowns is a very professional environment. It just seems like a very professional environment. Very brutal. I spoke to a Sundowns fan, actually, the MTN 8's first leg.
Sure.
The 0-0.
Yes.
So I had the honor of speaking to a lady who was very knowledgeable about Sundowns. Like, she's got really, really, really in-depth stuff. And I got to speak to her, and she was just letting me in on how brutal it is in there. The firing, the reshuffling that we've seen in public, even cases like Jali not being replaced, key player, playing in Africa, and Coach Rulani deciding, we're not gonna condone misconduct from
100%.
So
off the pitch.
Yes. So I think Sundowns is a very brutal environment. It's a very professional organization. I think as soon as they start sensing things aren't going well, you go. They chop you. So maybe it had to do with Pirates. Maybe it was. We just don't know it was coming. I never know, but I like to think we had something to do with it.
All right. With that being said, turn of the year, results started coming. Like, if you look at Pirates in the league, basically only lost to your rivals, if I may say. Sundowns, Chiefs, Cape Town City, and then you're able to beat SuperSport away in a crucial game, which many people feel kind of decided or made things lean towards Pirates definitely finishing second. After the Chiefs loss in the Soweto Derby this year, you went on a 7, if not 8 game league winning run.
Yes.
Just scoring goals, beating everyone that's in your way. SuperSport was one of them. Mundapule Saleng went back to Dobsonville Stadium against Swallows, scored a hat-trick. Everyone that was in your way was just beaten, including in the Nedbank Cup. How happy were you during that run?
I was so happy. I think because initially like I said, I already mentioned, I love beautiful football. I love that sort of thing. Initially, I used to complain a lot about, you're not playing well. How are we going to win games if we don't play well? But at that phase, at that point of the season, you're going for that CAF spot. You need to win games.
Sure, definitely.
I think we can sit here and talk about, remember that game? That was a fun game to watch. We played very well. Did you see how people were, the movements and stuff? But then we're not playing in Africa.
Yeah, no, would be a waste.
Which
would feel like a waste.
Yeah, I think so. For me, I was happy with the run. I think we're playing terrible games at times, especially in the Nedbank Cup. You already mentioned All Stars played terrible. Lodge came in second half, changed the game.
Yes.
It was a single-handed match win from Lodge. Don't All Stars.
All Stars as well.
Fender Football Academy. All these games, I think we won.
All Stars were the surprise packages of knocking out Amazulu. I think they also knocked out Super Sport.
Yeah. Yes, and we weren't playing amazing, but we're getting the result, and that's fun. Like it's fun to just think, you know what, we've got the points on board. It seems like our goal is attainable because we get the results, and you start to have that feeling when you go to games that we're going to win.
Yeah,
we're going to win,
100%.
and it starts to build a momentum. And I think we're even starting to play well because we just had the confidence of no one can beat us. So very happy about that run, and I even made the joke, I think you commented on it, that even if we're given Man City at some point, we could have held our own.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Chukwamanja versus Haaland up front. I think Chukwamanja comes out as the best striker up top. It was just amazing. I think it was amazing times.
You're getting ahead of yourselves, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, comparing yourselves to a team that went on a 12 games in a row in the league winning. But in closing off, you know, there's no way this would be fair without speaking about Relebohile Ratomo.
Yeah.
Sensation this season, you know, did well in the MDC with Pirates, the whole Pirates team doing well in the multi-choice League challenge season, finishing second behind SuperSport United. He definitely closed the season off well, brought through new energy. How hopeful are you for him going into next season?
So, if I may, just special mention for Coach Dudu Makanya in the MDC team. Is it still MDC? TTC. TTC now. So, just special mention for him because I think it's been crucial and it's been helpful to appoint someone who knows the club. I think we see that all over the world. You know, you look at all the big teams they've got, you know, even in Sundowns, you know, people like Muriri working there and stuff. So I was very impressed with that, you know, appointing someone who's been through the ranks at Pirates and he knows the club in and out. He knows what Relebohile Ratomo is going through. He knows it because he's played for the Pirates Academy. He knows what it takes to get promoted into the first team. So I think that's been really helpful for Ratomo. I bet he'd say that. I don't know for sure, but I'm just thinking. I bet Ratomo would say people like Dugu Makanya and other people that I don't know about have been helpful in his journey. So I was getting impatient because some of us Pirates fans who watch the second team, we've been asking.
There was a lot of volume around him before he got his first appearance.
And you start to get a bit jealous because you look at Keisha Smailula at Sundowns. And then we've loaned out Boitumelo Radiopane, who was also a teenage sensation at Pirates.
Last season.
You know? Yeah, and other Azola Choveni, I beg your pardon. Even Tabiso Sasani, who we played against when we played All Stars.
Yes.
And I was starting to get a bit jealous and a bit upset that it just seems like Pirates doesn't trust young players. Also because Munyani was sitting on the bench for a long time. He was even demoted to the second team last season. He didn't play with the first team last season. So it was long awaited. I think we all knew the quality that he has. It's there for everyone to see. If you go on YouTube and you just search Relebohile Ratomo, there's just a lot. He's Ballon d'Or. Ballon d'Or. I'm just kidding. But I'm very excited. I think the coach has managed him well. Listening to his press conferences, he said something that got me thinking. He said Relebohile Ratomo is not in the first team because Pirates just wants to promote young players because everyone else is doing it. He said Ratomo is in the first team because he's got the quality, and when he's on the first starting lineup, he's there because he can make a difference and he can help the team. And I think being the pragmatic that he is, Jose Rivero definitely means what he's saying. I think he doesn't play Ratomo if he doesn't think he's going to offer something.
And he's basically shown in his debut against Royal AM. The goal I still feel he scored that goal, even though it's a deflection goal. But against Amazulu, came off with a goal and an assist.
Yeah, 100% goal and assist. And yeah, I think it's also helpful that, because sometimes you can kill these young players, throwing them in derby game, and then he suffocates. And so the timing has been right from the coach, and I think it's just prepped him for I think next season. Also, just how the senior guys are embracing him. I just love the relationship between him and Lodge. I saw something on Instagram, I think yesterday. Lodge wrote last born. He posted Ratom and my last born, and then Ratom posted Lodge, reposted, the story thing.
Sure.
When you repost, and he reposted and wrote time. And I think those things are just like beautiful things, but also helpful because he feels a part of the squad.
Yeah.
And that's going to help him if he feels part of them. He doesn't look at them like, people that he's going to compete against. These are people that are trying to bring him in, help him with his game. And I think watch out next season to do Shabalala. Ratomo is
he's here to stay.
Yeah, he's here to stay. Young player of the season. Is that what it's called? Young player of the season next season.
Yeah, young player of the season. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. In ending off, obviously we have to speak about the PSL awards. Okay, so obviously I've been quite vocal about the revamping of the PSL awards because it's heavily focused on the DStv Premiership, except one award being Footballer of the Year, which Teo Khomokwena won. Some people may say Munapule Saleng should have won Footballer of the Year, but he did win DStv Premiership Players Player of the Season. Coach Jose wasn't named Coach of the Season. How do you feel about the season-ending awards and who should have gotten what? I know you wanted Saleng to win Football of the Season.
No, I feel robbed. Not just him, even
Coach Jose.
Even the coach. I don't know. Maybe you can tell me. Is the coach award for just the DStv Premiership?
It is.
Okay.
It is.
Well, in that case, I understand. Sundowns wiped the floor with everyone in the league. They really did. It's fair. I think even brand of football, even the run that Sundowns went on, even the fact that Rulani, this is not well. Yeah, at Sundowns, being the head coach, newly appointed. So you know what? I'm not angry at that, but if it's PSL, holistically, I think it's a different case there. Footballer of the Year. Do you know what I thought? What I think actually? I'm really happy that Saleng won the Players Player of the Season.
Sure.
Here's why. Because the people that come against him
every week are
the people that are saying, you know what, this is the best guy and this is the best player in the league. That says something to me. It should say something to you as well.
Sure.
So the people that he's playing against have voted him as the best player that they came against, and so I'm not hating. I think Tebogo Mokoena, I've said it, he's brilliant. He's great. He's really one of a kind. I think in the league we usually don't have those kind of players. It's hard to find top class midfield, young, responsible. Captain, he's one of the captains at Sundowns. This is his first season now. Came through the ranks at SuperSport United, so he's well developed and things like that. Disciplinary record seems like it's up there. Yeah, 100%. Especially in a South African context because of the things that just happen with our footballers this side, So I can't hate that Tebogo Mokoena won it, but the numbers don't lie.
Sure.
Munapule Saleng 10 Man of the Match awards. What else do you need?
Over 10 goals and 10 assists. Even though we're not the stats man, but respect should be given there.
Yes, and guys.
It touches you.
It really does. And not just that. I just even think that just impact. If you think about the impact that Saleng has had on his club compared to Mokoena on his club, Saleng really grabbed Pirates by the scruff of the neck. We were at the slumps at some point, this past season. But Saleng was just that guy, always producing the magic.
He was that guy.
He was the guy.
Honestly, in the league this season, South African football, Munapule Saleng was that guy. There's a period of time in the season where Cassius Mailula was doing things for Sundowns. But overall, I would give it to him.
And here's another interesting thing. It's fascinating to me how every single time all of these players have been compared with Saleng. So at some point it was, who's the player of the season? Cassius Mailula or Munapule Saleng?
Yeah.
At some point it was, who's the player of the season? Themba Zwane or Munapule Saleng?
100%.
At some point it was Ronald Williams or Munapule Saleng. I've heard stuff about Kanyiso Mayo at Cape Town City
yes.
versus Munapule Saleng. Lately, Tebogo Mokoena versus Munapule Saleng.
Yeah.
One common denominator.
Indeed.
And yeah, the common denominator was robbed. And yeah, hopefully next season he'll win it. If he keeps, I love his determination and his work ethic.
Sure.
That's just one of the other things that I love about Saleng. He's not the, like, he's not the, you know, he's not those, he's not easy to the eye. You know, most people I know won't prefer the kind of player that he is because he forces things. He doesn't glide on the pitch like your Themba Zwane and things like that. Or Lodge.
Not as silky.
Yeah, it's not as silky, but just that determined. He reminds me a lot of Mohamed Salah.
Sure.
I think Mohamed Salah, we even call him Mo Saleng at Pirates.
Yeah.
For that comparison of.
I'm laughing at the cameraman because he's a Liverpool supporter.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Same here, actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that determination, that work ethic, never say die attitude. He'll try things, he'll fail, and then he'll try the 10th time, and he'll get it right, and then Pirates get the point. So that's what I love, and I think it's going to serve him well. I think that's what's going to make him improve even next season. That's why I'm confident.
Yeah, no, with that being said, to end off, a quick prediction, you know, in a way, it's fantasy, you know.
Okay.
Quick prediction on how your season will be next season.
Yeah. It's going to be challenging because of Africa.
Where do you finish in the league? How do you compete in the cups? How do you fare in Africa?
Yeah. No, I think Africa is going to be hard for us. You know, I'd love to say that we will get to the semi-finals and things like that, but I would love to see the signings first, maybe, but I'm not very confident because I love my club, but I know it as well.
Sure.
We don't make good signings. We just don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, based on the signings, if we just unearth some special talent somewhere who's gonna come and play in that midfield, even on that left wing, because Lodge, you know, injury record. But I also don't think we can rely on Ratomo to that extent yet.
100%.
So for a long time, our thing has been on the right side. It's been Saleng on the right and then fairly muted on the left.
Sure.
Otto's not been great, in all frankness. So yeah, if we get, you know, good left wing, maybe Mendieta. There's a guy called Kim Fuini at Maritzburg, that number 10, you know, and maybe someone in the defense. Just the body in the defense, because I've heard stuff about Nda maybe leaving. Yeah, if our squad is good, if we've got a good squad, a big squad, maybe we can try and get to the latter stages of Africa, but it's pushing it to think more with it. I still think Sundowns is
still too far.
Yeah, it's still too far. I think there's a lot of things to fix to get to that point. But yeah, I mean, we're allowed to dream. I think we will finish close to, maybe points-wise, we won't finish as far as we did this year. Sure. But I think they'll win it again. Maybe we might take one of the cups and do a run in the other one. But I don't see us doing 2 cups or 3 cups or a league or things like that. But I do think we'll play better, we'll get more points, we'll believe more. Because sometimes it's about the feeling. So you might finish 3rd or whatever, but you feel like the club is headed to a direction.
Yes.
You know, so yeah, that's what I think.
Alright, no, my ballers, you heard it all from us here at the Orlando Stadium, commenting about Orlando Pirates season review. Been a great time with Fumani. Make sure to check out his YouTube page, Talking Buccaneers. Everything you need to know about Orlando Pirates, you heard from him. Outside the club, first, second man that you heard from, it's him. Do like, comment, share, subscribe, and until next time, my ballers, live long.